everybody. Welcome to the Geek Reloading podcast. I'm your host, Adam, and as always, my co-host, Josh.
Hello.
And yeah, if you hung out with us on the last episode, we passed the year mark, which was a huge feat since me and Josh are notoriously known for possibly not following through on something this big. This has been crazy.
Yeah, and this has been good for us, but it's been crazy that we've been able to stick with it this long.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it was talking about anything outside of video games that we're so into together, I think it'd be hard because Josh is into some stuff that I'm not interested in and vice versa. So I think that the gaming idea was really what really kept it together. Not the friendship, not anything else, just the gaming.
But now I feel bad. The friends.
Yeah, Josh is like, I didn't feel that way at all. I just threw him under the bus. I'm like, dude, it's just the games. You mean nothing to me.
I know, I'm sorry. No, also, I need to apologize. I probably sound stuffy. I decided to take the bullet and punch myself in the face with a 2x4.
Yeah, explain to me what happened. Josh mentioned this before we started recording, but I went, you know what? Let's just talk about it on the episode. You struck yourself in the face with a 2x4.
Yeah, like I've got half of my nostril, my left nostril is cut open. So it's a flesh wound, and it was done by a 2x4. Blunt trauma to the face. I would say 2 out of 10 would not recommend. Like, just don't do it. Now you know hitting yourself in the face with a 2x4 is not the greatest idea.
I think that Josh needs to take a picture of it, and we'll put it on our Instagram, and we'll share it before this episode drops, and be like, hey, find out why Josh's face is all fucked up.
I have taken a picture. I sent it to my wife, and she's just like, what did you do? I'm like,
yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, Josh is being left alone by his wife, which is never a good thing for a husband. This is what happens when the women leave. I'm just saying, like, the worst possible scenario, we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
you can't trust men alone. Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely, I resembled that comment. Anyways.
Well, I think you need to share it so I can put it on our Instagram. It'll be interesting.
I will definitely send that to you.
All right. Dope.
Sadly.
So this episode, we've already done like the top multiplayer games. This one I think is a little bit, it's adjacent, and we might have even mentioned some of these in the multiplayer, but we want to talk about the hidden gem party games that we really enjoyed, and we were pleasantly surprised how long it was fun to play in a big group. And that's something that multiplayer, sometimes it has that and sometimes it doesn't. So we're like, hey, these are hidden gem ones that maybe you heard about, maybe you didn't. Some of these have some super rare titles that you have probably not heard of, and then some of them are just classic dope ones that obviously you've played. So I feel like this is going to be a pretty fun one.
This one is just kind of like stuff that we seem to go back to, or you should just try with your friends.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of, social lubrication, and they're wonderful.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these, I was surprised when I started thinking about this topic, and I was like, there's a lot of classic ones that I remember playing, and I was like, damn, I can't believe I've played this game so much.
Yeah,
and so,
exactly.
Yeah, so I'm stoked to go through this one. It's got a lot of interesting ones. And dude, I'll go first. This is my, if you didn't play it, you didn't understand how fun it was, but if you played it, holy crap, we should talk for hours. And that was Fusion Frenzy on the original Xbox. Now that game was just so unique because it was like trying to be almost a Mario Party game, but trying to like capture that edgy Xbox vibe when it first released. So it was a clusterfuck. It was a total mess, but it was a fun mess.
It was like the bargain brand of, Mario Party. So
yeah, it really, really was. And it was just like a hodgepodge of games with if you can imagine in your mind the stereotypical what an executive would think would be cool to a 14-year-old boy as characters, that's exactly what they were. Like lots of sunglasses, dreads, baggy jeans, and like tattoos. It was hilarious, but also the gameplay was actually really solid. I was pleasantly surprised, and we burned through this game a lot on the Xbox.
That is funny. Like it's sometimes like you get connected with a game through friends, and that makes that game for you. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was a fun one, and also I feel like it was one of the it definitely was one of the party games for Xbox, because Xbox, the big push was you get 4 controllers, 4 friends, split screen, Halo, all that kind of stuff. This was up there with that. I mean, it was definitely trying to sell the party multiplayer part of Xbox, and I think it did it really well.
And that's what they needed. Like they needed a few good solid titles besides Halo, and so there we go.
It was a fun one. It was a fun one.
So the next one is mine, and I love this game, and I wish I had more friends that played consistently with me, because Battle Block Theater is hilarious, and I think this is one that we've talked about before, but it's just ridiculously funny, but it's simple enough that anyone can play.
Yeah.
I mean, really, side scroller ridiculousness and crazy, and it's just fun, and it's always fun to kind of, because there is a little bit of progression, like you get different weapons and different things like that, but I mean, you only have one thing, and it's, you know, jump, move, and shoot type of thing, and that's it. And it's so funny. And like your main thing is you've got a mine that you can put out and blow up whatever and all that, but it'll also blow up your teammates as well.
Yep.
And it's the griefer simulation of hilariousness.
Now, this one was made by the Behemoth, right? It's the same people that did Castle Crashers?
Yes. And again, Castle Crashers should probably be on this, but we've talked about that multiple times.
Yeah, I think that this one was overshadowed by Castle Crashers, and that's why a lot of people didn't play it. But this one, dare I say, is more fun. I feel like it is, because you have it's all about these deadly stages that you're trying to survive, and how and when and in the way that you die is just really, really funny, and it keeps it interesting. I really did love Castle Crashers 2, but it's a pretty straightforward side-scrolling beat 'em up. This one, you had some puzzles you had to get through, and it was really hilarious. Like, it was, and you think it would get old, but we played it so much, and it was so funny.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and my thing is like, one of the memories that stood out on this one for me was I just barely got this paper airplane that exploded. So instead of having a mine, I had this paper airplane, and my buddy James, like, we were playing this a little bit, and he's a griefer by heart. And so this paper plane, like, he was stuck out on this platform, and I had this perfect shot that I literally just could continue to kill him off that platform. And it was like, I did it for like 5 minutes, and then he finally was like, "Are we gonna play the game?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we should probably play the game."
Are you done yet? Are you done? That's what he was thinking the entire time.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like, but the thing is that, like, it's been like, it was like a couple hours before that he was just screwing with me. So it was like, this was my final revenge, and I was just like, oh yes, oh yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, this was a good one. I feel like I want to see more games like this. I don't like the games like Super Meat Boy, where it's a murder simulator and you're trying to get through it, because they get boring to me. But the fact that it was multiplayer made it really fun, and it made it really fun. And I wish I was I drinking at the time when we were playing this? I don't feel like I was drinking in the moment, but
no, you weren't.
This game, I feel like on shots would be really dope. I feel like this game would be where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or you play like a little bit of a drinking game. Like, okay, every time you die in a level, you got to take a sip.
That's alcohol poisoning. No, don't do that.
Okay, not anything hard, but you know, the girly drinks that I like. Yeah.
Yeah, like, that one, I think we have to revisit that one. That one's a fun one.
I think it'd be so much fun to do. Yeah.
So, Josh, I don't know if you ever played this one, but this one is on the classic Xbox, and it like you play it now, and I feel like in this day and age, as we've grown as society, you play it and you go, this is weirdly offensive. Like how on the nose it is. But it was Kung Fu Chaos, which was on the original Xbox, and you played a bunch of stereotypes from Asian kung fu movies. And yeah.
Honestly, everyone just think about the worst stereotype, like kung fu masters or ninjas that you can think of, and they've cartoonified them in this game.
and they didn't pull any punches. That being said, the gameplay was fantastic, and it had some of the most solid, most balanced characters, and I really enjoyed playing it. I loved seeing the different kung fu movie sets that they kind of themed the backgrounds and the arenas from. But yeah, play that one with maybe with PC turned off. Yeah, just turn off that part of your brain. And just understand that it was a different time. It was like, what, 1999, 2000, something like that. So it was not the best side of humanity.
No, like, I mean, like when we say it was quite offensive, like there's a lot of offensive. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
There was a few, but you know, it was fun. And if you just take it for what it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Great. You got to take it for what it was. Good wording.
Yeah, take it for what it was, you know. And that's the thing, is there are plenty of games that are terrible like this, but they still have a fun aspect to them.
Yeah.
Just
you know
don't
what's
take
weird,
yourself
though?
so serious.
Do you know what's weird?
Huh.
Guess what developer created it?
I'm trying to see who.
Ninja Theory.
Oh shit.
So in between like Disney Infinity and Heavenly Sword and Devil May Cry, they made that way back in the day. Before Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, one of the most artistic, beautiful, crazy, amazing games, they made Kung Fu Chaos. So that's just proof, guys, there's growth. There's growth everywhere, all right?
You got to start somewhere, and sometimes when you start, it's very, very terrible. Oh, I forgot they have like the Asian director. Like,
yes, that's the big one. Yeah, it's a big one. Anyway,
he was half of the racism right there. Like
he was a lot of it.
Like, man.
What's weird is nobody was half. Everyone was like 65%. So it equated to like 985% racism. It was weird. It was weird, but it was fun.
It was at least 900.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And then you have like Candy, the very, very white blonde haired girl in roller skates.
Yep.
In a little crop top. I love this.
It was pretty crazy.
Wow. I need to go back and play this game, I think.
Yeah.
I think when I start drinking heavily again, this is where I'm going.
Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, Kung Fu Chaos also is like hyper rare too now. I think that it's like hard to find. Kung Fu Chaos. It's averaging 60 on Mercari for a used Xbox One or Xbox game.
Wow.
Yeah, and also it's not backwards compatible if I'm not mistaken. So you can't put it on an Xbox One or on a 360. You have to play it on the original Xbox.
I'm saying this: we have the technology. Got to find a ROM.
Oh, we didn't say that out loud.
No. Because I'm saying this: if you cannot buy it, I think that's a good excuse, because
we don't support it. It's not that either of us have owned modified machines ever, and we've never ever enjoyed them for years. It's fine. Okay, moving on. Okay, Josh, this one is one that actually I first played it with you, but I didn't beat it with you. I actually played it with another buddy of mine back in high school, and college, and we beat it, and it was a fun time.
So the next one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And so it's based on it's not a manga, it's not a comic, it's kind of a mix of both. But
graphic novel.
And it is so well done. I mean,
yes.
If you like River City Ransom, Scott Pilgrim versus the World is an amazing homage to it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I loved that they kept the same art style, and that they were able to really capture the feel of the entire like genre as well. Like it was a really good pairing overall, and I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and the one thing about it, like, I love the movie. I do not like Michael Cera normally, but he is an amazing Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, agreed.
And so I was watching this and I was like, holy crap, this is just like the movie. The movie is a really good rendition of the comic. But the ending of the game, I was like, what the hell is going on? The ending of the game actually matches the ending of the comic, not the ending of the movie. There's a whole thing with that. But it's just like, It's so much fun. It's so interesting, and it's just a great side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best ones, or one of the ones I've enjoyed the most in the last long while.
I will say, like, I think I love it because it's, you know, River City Ransom upgraded, and I think that was the. I honestly think they did it better because it's upgraded and it has more stuff. So
yeah,
that's hard to say though.
As someone who loves River City Ransom, it just played really smoothly, and River City Ransom had its fun glitches that worked in your favor, but also some dumb glitches too. So I'm glad this one made the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna throw this one out real quick. It's just a quick one because I think that we've already mentioned it before, but I did love this game, and I'm talking specifically about the 64 version, and that's NFL Blitz, with the big head mode and all of the different unlockables and the different stuff you could do. It was just a fun time, and it was, especially for like a junior high kid in '99, that was money. It was probably one of the best times you could have with a bunch of friends at a sleepover.
Now, I'm saying this is weird because we are not like we're not actual sports gamers usually.
Nope, not at all.
The last sports game that I really remember was NBA Jam. Yeah,
NBA Jam.
So when he brought this up, I was like, really? Yeah, are you sure? And it seems pretty fun, but I never touched it. So
it was good because it wasn't trying to be a serious sports game. You had some basic plays, and you could literally like have an unlockable where your head was like 25 times larger than it was supposed to be, and it would affect some of the mechanics. And then you could have all these different plays, and you could always just like, and it was one of these things where you could always kind of cheat the AI, but when you started playing with friends, there was no fucking around with them, and so it made things way more challenging and fun.
You're like, I'm so good at this game, it's crazy, and then you're like playing with friends, and you're like,
you were proved wrong.
Suck. I really do suck.
You were proved wrong very, very quickly. Yeah,
but that
one
funny.
was just fun. It was. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of sports games. The last sports game I specifically played, and it's not even a sport, but it's technically got rules and points, was Rocket League. That was the last one.
I was going to put Rocket League on this list because I just love the concept of it. Like,
but it's not a hidden gem, though.
It is definitely not a hidden gem. Neither is
NFL
Fall
Blitz
Guys,
wasn't either. So. Yeah, we had a few. So we have a few that aren't, but that one I just wanted to shout out because it's just a good party game.
Yeah. So the next one that I have on here is Gang Beasts, and it's just a wacky physics game. You know, you got floppy bodies everywhere, and you can grab people and throw them off, and it's just a battle royale. You're trying to be the last.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game.
And it was kind of a beta type of thing on Steam, but now it's actually got quite a few people. You know, I just realized that it's on Xbox now and all that, but
interesting.
Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous. It's kind of just it's one of those things that's based off of a very simple premise, and it's just fun that way. So you definitely need people to play though. Like you can't. It's not worth or not fun if you're trying to play alone. I don't even know if they have like AI.
They probably don't have a standalone.
But yeah, I mean it's a big battle royale, and it's ridiculous. Pretty much
beasts.
You can punch people, you can grab people, and that's it. You can also grab you knock people off of the play, you know, of the place where you're fighting at. And
is this done by the same guys that do Totally Accurate Battle Simulator and Totally Accurate Delivery Driving or whatever?
I don't think so.
It looks like the same style. I pulled it up.
I'm not quite sure, but it's just ridiculous. And I looking at it, I wanted to say it's definitely worth putting on this list.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd fuck with it. That looks fun. I gotta play that. Cool.
But yeah, like you knock out people, so once they're knocked out, they're just floppy bodies, and you can take those bodies and chuck them off the side. Or
oh, that's always the best.
Yeah, and so
anytime you can play with ragdoll physics like that is just fun.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you can actually grab onto stuff and you can kind of, get up and out of the way and stuff like that. So it's just kind of fun, and it's just kind of ridiculous.
So the next one that I have is actually a Jackbox game, which, you know what, Jackbox gets a lot of shit, but I've had a pretty good time. Granted, most of the time, probably assisted by some alcohol, but still, I've had a few, like, there's some games that they do that are really fun because it's not too cheesy and it's not too over the top, but this one is really fun for mostly adults. Don't try and mix this with like your kids and stuff. It's called Quiplash, and it's a text game where like they pose a question to everybody, and then you answer anonymously, and then everyone votes on them, or like a judge votes on it, and then you get points. This game gets inappropriate really fast. Like, we tried to play it at a family get together, and nope, don't do that. It's not a good thing.
It's like Cards Against Humanity, but on video game.
Yeah, but like Cards Against Humanity is pulling no punches. It's not like, hey, this might be okay for you and your 9-year-old. Whereas Quiplash, it's all colorful, and we thought it was fine, and then we started playing it at a family thing. We're like, whoa, this is not fine. Let's wrap this up. And so, but it's a fun one for a group of adults. Like most Jackbox games, I think it was fun. Get some drinks, play that. I like the Jackbox. You don't need controllers, so you can have more people. I think that you can have up to 12 people on this one, or 8. So you can have a lot of people playing, and that's really fun.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Josh, I've only played one of these ones that you've mentioned up next. Go ahead.
And so I put on here Overcooked and Out of Space. They're kind of the same thing. It's kind of like a management of, craziness. Like Overcooked, you're building food for people that are ordering, and you got to do it in a certain time and everything. It's just kind of fun because things get a little bit crazy. Out of Space is a lot of the same thing. You're actually trying to clean a spaceship, and
Yeah, see, I've never heard of that one.
I've mentioned it on here a couple times because it is just one of those fun multiplayer games. Like my wife, my brother-in-law, we play, and it's ridiculous, and it's kind of fun because you kind of get into roles, like you know who is going to do what, and you just kind of go and do it. But then insanity hits, and all of a sudden, yeah, it's
hilarity
crazy.
Hilarity
ensues. So
nice.
I just wanted to throw that on there with Overcooked. So
yeah, I love Overcooked. But also it's one of those task management games that makes you go, oh my god, at certain points, because it just seems like everything's going wrong all at once.
Everything is on fire, and you're just like, should we just stop?
That's the problem. That's the problem, is when it suddenly is like, this is no longer fun, I'm stressed out. But I do have fun until that point, and it takes a while to get to that point. So that, I feel like, it's a good balance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the next one is one that it's once again classic Xbox. I was all about the classic Xbox, but this one came out, and it was Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer. Now there's like there's 3 or 4 Hunter the Reckoning games, and they're all about like this group, this band of misfits saving the world in this city called Ashcroft that is essentially like the gateway to hell. And you have like a padre who's like an actual like father of the cloth, and he's got like a crossbow, and his sword has a big old cross on the bottom. And you got this biker who makes an axe out of like a bunch of like pipes and stuff. And you got like this like it's like a detective, and she's got like a samurai sword and a big revolver, and this little Asian chick who's got dual pistols and stuff. And yeah,
I'm looking at pictures, and yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm pretty accurate, right?
Yeah,
I haven't even looked it up. Okay, I'm pretty close.
You haven't mentioned that all the women in this are very scantily clothed.
It's gaming, of course they are. I mean,
it's true.
This is early 2000s. We had no concept of like doing stuff better yet, but yeah, this was like, so I played all the Hunter the Reckoning games, and I didn't like any of them that much except for Redeemer. I actually burned through this game multiple times, and it's because they like finally balanced stuff out. It is a subpar hack and slash, like kind of like Gauntlet, but it was just, there was some addicting gameplay to it. The super abilities you could do, the way that you could stack different people's stats, like different characters' stats on top of each other to do like really huge amount of damage. And just like, it had some of the weirdest storyline ever and some weird ass characters. There's a guy that's like total BDSM, covered in bandages and leather, straight out of Hot Topic, you know, like craziness. And then one of the times you're literally fighting a murderous teddy bear, like giant teddy bear that is like it's like the figment of like a child's imagination or something like that in a graveyard. It's crazy.
Wow.
So it just had so much weird bonkers shit that it kept it really interesting.
Okay, I'm seeing this. This seems very interesting.
Right? It looked like the gameplay, like I said, it's solid enough gameplay wise that it's fun. The story and stuff is not stellar, but it's just weird enough. It's like B horror movie weird, and so it was really fun to go through. And yeah, but with friends, I literally remember like I was playing on like a 19-inch TV in a basement with my buddy Nick and then my buddy Alex, and we literally went like 5 hours straight just sitting on shitty chairs and just like looking at this little TV, and we were having a blast. And then we just kept playing it, and like, so it's something. Give it a shot. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's pretty women to look at, I'd say.
Yeah. So there's some awesome characters, some weird ass characters. It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this next one, this is the last one just for me, is Towerfall Ascension. And so,
dude, this game,
like, I know you don't like the, like, I know you don't like retro looks to game, but this game is, I love these kind of games because they're simple, they're simplistic, and they're just fun. And so
I agree with you on this one.
Like, you're a character that you have you have a bow and arrow, and you have to collect the arrows to shoot them, and you can stomp on people's heads, but it's like you're in this little, just a screen, and there's a different effects. Like, a lot of the times they'll have like screen wrapping so you can go out the left side and come out the right, and stuff like that. But it's just ridiculous how some of this stuff works out, and just there's so many like really fun moments that you'll have in this game.
Can't you catch the arrow too?
Yes, if you dash, like, you can catch an arrow out of the air, or dodge different people. Yeah, and so
that's what I thought.
And it's just crazy, like, because I've seen so many times where you have one guy that is just dominating, kills everyone else, and then gets killed because he's standing under a falling arrow, and just be done. Like, this game, I really feel like the most fun you can have with it is when you're playing with people that are the same level as you, because like, when I did play it, I played it with some friends, and it was really fun. But then we started getting like matchmaker set up with these guys that were just wrecking us over and over, and like anything you did. And I'm like, this isn't fun. But when we went back to offline and it was just us or friends only, I was having a blast. And this one isn't like the same as like regular side scrolling, because it's like side scrolling Smash Bros with weapons. It's kind of crazy how fast it moves though. And once you get into a groove with it, it's so awesome to see how fast it's going. That's like, it almost gets like, almost like not panic, but just like high energy. You're like, oh my gosh, so much is happening. I've had games where I've literally forgotten what color I was, what character I was, and I still won. And it's just like, it's just insanity. Like, it's just fun that way. So
yeah. It definitely is a unique game, and I think that it's also, it feels very approachable when you're not playing with crazy good people. Like it has a very high range of playability for people who are just starting and whatnot. Once you get the mechanics in, once you get the mechanics down, it's a lot. It does feel pretty balanced,
and it is pretty simple. Jump, dash, shoot, and move. Like, that's pretty much all you got. Exactly. But then I really like the effects that they have, is like, there's different things that it'll actually close off the sides or the top and the bottom of a level, and if you touch those sides, like, you're gonna die, and it just kind of pushes the gameplay forward and stuff. It's just super fun.
Yeah. So obviously we're gonna end it on a high note. I mean, this one is not a hidden gem, but it's kind of the party game of party games. And it's something that Josh brought up, and I was like, I don't know if we should talk about it. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, we can't not talk about this when it comes to party games.
It's one of those games that you can pull out and everyone can play. And it's Smash Brothers.
Yes, absolutely. Because there's a character for everybody. If you're not good, there's characters that you can kind of nerf your way through, you know?
Yeah. Or you can actually, like... It's so balanced because you can actually, okay, well, we've got someone that's really good at this game. They have to get a penalty, and so
less lives, or take higher damage, or whatever.
Exactly, and then you have like some really good times that you can balance it out, and make it really fair, and you're playing with a 3-year-old, and everyone is having fun still. Yeah. So it's one of those games that it's just the standard of party games, I think.
Yeah. I think that it's one of the games that you have so much customizability, it actually feels balanced no matter who's playing, because you can make it balanced.
Yeah, and the other thing is like you have certain people. Like, I mean, for our family, like, we get together a few times, like, and play this with a bunch of cousins.
Yep.
Like, and it literally has gotten to the point where it's like, okay, you can't play that character anymore. and for the top guy is like, no, you are not being Rob the Robot anymore. Stop it. But you can just play, and it's crazy. Like, you'll have someone that will be terrible, and then all of a sudden they'll find that character that they're godlike status. Like, it's crazy how good
it just fits.
Yeah, and so it's just a really solid game, and you can customize it enough just to have the best time with everyone. Right.
Yeah. So that's our list. I mean, I feel like it's a fun list. We put in some ones that were a little unknown, and you should give them a shot. Some of them are older, some of them are different styles. It's something that, expand out some of your multiplayer experiences. I think that we have a couple side scrollers, some crazy ones. So give it a shot and let us know let us know how it goes and everything. You can either do it by posting it on any of our Instagram posts, or you can also reach out to us at geekreloading@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. And Josh, anything else we should say after our 1 year of being on a podcast?
Thank you for everyone that is listening to this. We greatly appreciate I think you said 42?
Yeah, something like that.
Pretty consistent. Like, honestly, we're really happy about that. Granted, I would be doing this just to hang out with, my brother from another mother, but knowing that there's actual people listening is huge.
It's pretty dope. It feels nice, guys. It feels neat. So thanks for giving us that feel-good feeling. That's awesome of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, all of our info is at the end stinger. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Geek Reloading Podcast with Adam and Josh. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have a question? Email us at geekreloading@gmail.com. Theme song titled Rocket by Kevin MacLeod. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on your preferred podcast service.